Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Stick a Needle in Your Eye. But if you turn away and ally yourself with the survivors of these nations that remain among you, and if you intermarry with them and associate with them, then you may be sure that the Lord your God will no longer drive out these nations before you. Instead, they will become snares and traps for you, whips on your backs and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from this good land, which the Lord your God has given you. Joshua chapter 23, verse 12 and 13. I was visiting the playground of the school across the street from my church when I heard a familiar sound. The sound came from a little girl who was making a solemn oath to one of her little friends. The promise went something like this: cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye. Where did we come up with these things? I stood there and wondered, has there ever been a time in human history when a child broke a promise and this oath was fulfilled? I'm sorry, Johnny, but you promised to share your dessert with little Freddie at lunch, and you didn't. We have to hold you down and poke a needle in your eye, and then we have to kill you, as per the agreement you swore on the playground. In a way, the parting words of General Joshua to his people were an oath. At least they were a good predictor of what was going to happen. He warned the Israelites to stay away from the cultural influences of the nations around them, because these influences would lead the Israelites away from God and toward the bad things that caused the eventual downfall of these nations. I love Joshua's vivid descriptions of the pain Israel would suffer if they were to fall in this way: whips on your backs and thorns in your eyes. Joshua was describing the natural consequences of sin to the people of God. Sin becomes a burdensome taskmaster that blinds you to the reality of God. Joshua's warning: stay away from it. Of course, as you will see in the book of Judges, Israel did not stay away from sin. They played with it and got burned again and again. But God was faithful to his people, as he always is. Sin is bad, God is good. Joshua knew that and reminded his people of it just before he died. But if you turn away and ally yourself with the survivors of these nations that remain among you, and if you intermarry with them and associate with them, then you may be sure that the Lord your God will no longer drive out these nations before you. Instead, they will become snares and traps for you, whips on your backs and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from this good land, which the Lord your God has given you. Joshua 23, verse 12 and 13. May God bless you today.